Gentlemen, it's me, Jim Kincaid, and I have the GBD-H2000 here, which I love to wear. It is the most comfortable watch I've ever put on my wrist, and I believe that the physical design of this watch is amazing. It should be like an award-winning watch. The designers should, be given a raise and allowed to throw the first pitch out at, a Japanese baseball game. It's amazing, okay? Very light. I'm always like feeling my wrist to make sure it's still there, just because the design is so elegant, and I will go over why by starting with an old watch. This is just a basic Casio digital watch, and when you look at its design, you'll see that it has lugs between which is a watch band, like the classic design of all watches, right? These are the lugs, and they straddle a watch band. Okay, and there's a pin that goes between, or goes through the eye of this watch band and clips into the lugs. Now, there's a problem with this design, and that is that the pins always pop out. That's my saying. If there are pins, they'll pop. And if you are active, whether at work or in some type of recreation, you, like me, have probably lost a lot of watches to the pins popping out. Like I'm out there working, and I look down at my wrist, and my watch is gone. Where'd it go? Well, the pins popped out somewhere along the way. Okay, so that's a problem. Now, one good thing about this type of design with the lugs and the band is that this band can splay out all the way. So, as a big wrister, I can get a replacement band that's extended, that if I know this lug width. And so it's usually in M&Ms, like you get 16, 18, or 22 M&Ms of the watch band, right? Now, so Casio came out 40 years ago with the G-Shock Square. Okay, so this is the GW5610. This is Phil's watch. It's exactly the same as a Square, and here's a brand new Square, which has that classic G-Shock design that's 40 years old this year. And this watch is the DWH5600. Okay? Now, what do you notice about the lugs? They're under the shroud, right? So this helps prevent them from popping out. And another aspect of this design is that the lug width is a lot shorter than the width of the band where it meets the case of the watch. This really makes it a durable watch, much less likely for the pins to pop out, okay? Which is good for durability, but bad for big wristers, because you can't just get a regular extended watch band to make the watch band longer, right? So that's why, for the 90s and the 2000s, I never had a G-Shock watch, because like this one, they really don't fit. Like this one, if I put it on the very last notch, it will go around my wrist, but it's like not a sturdy fit. It's cheating. These holes are like cheater holes that a fat man will put on his belt, to get it out a little ways, but it really doesn't fit. Okay, so this watch, it doesn't articulate from the lug. Okay, and so it's not a good watch for a big wrister. And this type of watch band points down, and the reason for that is that when these G-Shocks came out, they were a lot bigger than a standard watch. See how much bigger this is than that? And the lug width, which is this distance, is pretty far compared to a standard digital watch. And so that's a problem for small wristers. And so I think that's why they have this band point down. Now, they're going to tell you that it's protect the watch if it drops and it bounces, right? I don't believe that. I think that they have this band point down so that it can fit small wristers better. Like if you're looking down the barrel of the wrist, there'll be a gap there, right? So they actually don't want a larger watch body to have a band that splays out all the way, okay? So, what do big wristers do if you want a G-Shock? Well, you have to buy a massive G-Shock that has a very wide lug width, okay? Like this one, the King, the GXW56BB, okay? It's dead now, needs to get charged up in the sun. Look at this massive lug width, okay? That's good for a big wrister. You put it on there, right? Bad for a small wrister, because even with the band pointing down, there'll be gaps in the corner. If you imagine a small wrist going right here, even with the band pointing down, there'll be a gap in the corner. So what does Casio do? That their smaller G-Shocks are too small for big wristers, and their big G-Shocks are too big for small wristers. Well, they have wings, okay? Now this isn't a G-Shock, this is a Pro-Trek, but see how it has this wing? This wing is intended to fill in the corner for small wristers and still allow the band to splay out for big wristers. And the Mudmasters have wings. Some of I think the GBD-100 and the GBD-200 have wings. Okay? The problem with wings is that they're cumbersome and they pull your hair. It's like you're getting your hair pulled all the time by these wings while you're wearing it. Very uncomfortable in my opinion. And you know, Casio is an Asian company. Asians don't have arm hair. It's not a big problem to them, but selling these types of watches to burly Europeans is a problem, especially the Italians and the Greeks. You know, they with their massive amounts of arm hair. Huge problem, okay? So, this is where the GBD-H2000 comes in. Look at these wings. They're integrated into the watch band. So the watch band can splay fully out for a big wrister, and for a small wrister, the watch band can point downwards, and these wings take up the gaps in the corners. This is a perfect balance. I mean, being a big wrister, I can tell you that I find this watch to be extremely comfortable. How does it fit for small wristers? Well, seeing its profile, I would assume that it should work. I would need a small wrister to confirm that. And I have some small wristers in my family. Some of my younger sons have small wrists, so I'll ask them to try this watch on, and we'll see how it works. But this design is amazing. It fits well, okay? All right, guys, my camera overheated, so I'm gonna have to get back to you about this amazing watch and whether or not it fits small wristers. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Kincaid.